The music of B.J. Thomas has transcended generations, with his recording career now spanning almost half a century. B.J. is set to release a new project, which invites listeners into his own living room. This album includes very special performances from him with a few friends singing the biggest songs of his career, including the ever-popular Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Lynn caught up with B.J. during the recording of the living room sessions.
We're here catching up with B.J. Thomas in the studio. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
What a treat. I'm so excited now. I mean, his hits, oh my goodness. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, all of your songs. And now you've done a project where you've invited in people. Vince Gill. Tell us about it.
Well, it's kind of an idea that someone had. I don't know exactly who now, but we were going to redo the hits and kind of to reintroduce ourselves to some of the few people that might not know me, which is turning into millions now, but kind of reintroduce ourselves with this great company here in Nashville. And so we thought we'd redo the hits and redo them in an unplugged fashion. So, you know, we got a lot of great musicians together, and we just, you know, tried to pick the ones we liked the most, I guess, and redid them. And you know, it didn't take a lot of, we didn't stress on it too much. We just felt like that it would be so much fun to do that it would take care of itself, and that's more or less what it did.
So Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Who did you do that one with?
Well, we did that with Lyle Lovett. Oh. And Lyle had worked with Bert on an album before, and we knew that, and so we knew he had the personal connection, and so, you know, he's one of our favorite guys of all time, and he wanted to do it. So we were thrilled about that, and he did a great job on it.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
You've had this huge career, Grammys, won every award, sold millions and millions of records. What would be the one song on those and that's on this project that's just like your all-time favorite? Or can you pick one?
Well, you know, I probably can't pick just one. They're all important to me, and the fact that we were discussing this, and the fact that I've done them for so long, and they've been a part of my performing self. You know, who I am as an entertainer for so long, that, you know, they actually have now become a part of who I am. Whereas, you know, there was a time when, you know, of course I'm a father, I'm a husband, and that's who I am. I'm a human being, and it gets down to simple things. But now, since it's been so many years, they do kind of become a part of you. So I've got the emotional, you know, and spiritual ties to almost everything I've done, but probably the most important ones would be I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. That was my first hit record. It was my dad's favorite song. You know, if it hadn't been his favorite song, we probably wouldn't have done it. You know, we just had a little band that we started when we were 15 years old, and we cut our first album one night, and we cut I'm So Lonesome about 5:30 in the morning, and, you know, somehow it found its way on the radio and got the whole thing started. And Hooked on a Feeling, I cut in Memphis, with Chip Smullen, the American Studio Group, and of course, you know, Raindrops. And I was very lucky to get Raindrops to begin with, and you know, now it's taken on other dimensions, such as you know, I feel honored now that I've had it all these years and been able to perform it and be a part of who I am now.
And I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Kyle Lenning's produced?
Yes, of course. Kyle Lenning produced the record. It was his team, the band that he records with all the time. And, you know, just I've worked with a lot of great producers, and he's just right up there at the top. He has a style where he sits in the studio with the musicians, and he's actually just a part of the band, and he's the only producer I've ever seen do that. There's no pane of glass between him and what's going on, and there was just something about that brought an extra feeling to the music. So really enjoyed working with him, and you know, totally love the guy, and hope I do a lot more things with him.
All right. Thank you so much for catching up with us today. It's such a pleasure. Beautiful man, inside and out. Mr. B.J. Thomas, thank you so much.
Look for the Living Room Sessions to be released next week on Wrinkled Records. Now it's time for our weekly songwriter tip. This week we sit down with Low Cash Cowboy Preston Brust as he talks about picking great songs.
As an artist, when you're looking for great songs, I think a big tip that I know Jeffrey Steele really taught Chris and I is that don't get so caught up and you have to write every song. A great song is going to change your life. A hit song is a hit song is a hit song. I don't care who wrote it. If you are lucky enough to have one of those big mega hits fall in your hands as an artist, record it and run with it, because it's going to translate to the folks out there listening. And it's not about you. It's not about trying to write every song on the album. That's cool if it happens, but if it doesn't, you know, and you got hits on that album, man, all killer, no filler, man. Just get the hits.
For more information on the craft of songwriting, check out NashvilleSongwriters.com. That's about all the time we have for this week's show, but don't forget the Living Room Sessions we have up for grabs from B.J. Thomas. Enter online only at InsideMusicRow.com. We'll leave you today with that #1 hit from Kip Moore. Don't miss us next week when we hook up with Trace Adkins. Until next time, I'm Bailey for Inside Music Row, and I'll see you again real soon.